Hello. So now it's enough of this entertainment bullshit that I usually do, and now it's just pure knowledge for helping people actually without entertaining them. So, uh, this will be about how brains work. So, as you see, here is a brain, and uh, basically the signals usually go from here, from the brainstem to here, and as I understand it, maybe I'm not 100% accurate, but that's how I understand it right now and how I explain it. And here would be the pineal gland and the most basic, most oldest part of the brain. Then these areas, for example, it goes like here and here. This would be areas responsible for basic in this limbic lobe that you see here. Here is a limbic lobe. Would be areas responsible for basic navigation and feeling of yourself, basically understanding who you are. And also, let me also mention that somewhere here in the audial area that is close to your ears would be first areas responsible for your mother's voice, somewhere here, then for your own voice, then somewhere here for orientation and understanding who you are, then this area, I believe it's 31 Broadmann area, 31st area, it would be for navigation. And why I know this, because actually in my teens I think I had this area very active, and I just loved architecture and walking around things and recognizing them. Then it goes here. Here would be area 25, which is responsible for depression and basically being offended and depressed and aggressive. And this part is called the prefrontal cortex, and this part is called frontal cortex. So, as you can see, if this signal successfully, as I understand it, goes through area 25, and here is a fold, goes here and here into logic. Here, for example, would be areas responsible for chess and maths and everything else. Let's draw a chessboard. And yeah, that's how I understand it, these Broadmann areas right now. And Broadmann's areas are actually an old concept. Now they have more detailed with all the 3D scans that they have, picture of a brain, so they, for example, can easily control your behavior if they know how to do it. Yeah, and I also forgot to mention that here on the sides around this central part of the brain that is basically just spinal liquid, on the sides there is this shit called insula from island, like island insula, and it's basically a monkey brain that is very primitive and mostly developed in animals, that is responsible for basic stuff, social stuff. When you watch soap operas and you feel for the character and someone does something wrong in the society or something right, the signals from insula basically pass into your either depression stuff or logic or positivity stuff, basically something like that. Very simplified, but that's like it works. So let's repeat this once again. The signal from the body goes into these areas. Here would be your fetus feelings, like first you would experience your mother's voice, then your own voice, your own body, understanding who you are, and that is me, not someone else. And probably, things like LSD, they change this area because people stop understanding that they're not, uh, they think they are whole with all the world around or something. So yourself, then architecture, walking around the woods that was needed for our ancestors to hunt and everything else, pig berries. Then here is this fold, prefrontal lobe, and here is the area that you the signal must pass in order to not get depression. I think so, at least. Area 25. If the signal passes this effectively and goes through this fold, that is a kind of a barrier between good emotions and bad emotions. And here also, this area right above your eyes, here for example would be your eyes, this area is responsible for positivity, for good emotions. So once the signal passes freely, like passing customs on a border, passes this 25th area of the brain and gets here, then you actually feel good, and it triggers everything like logic, emotions, and everything else. And just one more trick. You know how this Andy Huberman, for example, says that if you want to feel more energy, just put your eyes up like this. And if you want to fall asleep, put the eyes down. So, it actually makes sense because people's eyes are not completely round. They have an egg shape to them. So when you put your eyes up, you actually affect these positivity areas and energy areas in your brain. And that's, for example, why some teenagers would roll their eyes when they're feeling confused, just to have a rush of energy like this. Oh, and they have slightly more energy. That's how I explain it. And also there are techniques in Eastern yoga and well-being techniques that also, if you stare on your third eye for a long time, like for 5 minutes, you actually, by pressing these eyes onto your I believe it's called 33rd area, Broadmann area, but you get a rush of energy, calmness, peacefulness, and that's also why these Eastern societies say that the third eye is located right here. Next time you want to feel a little more calm or good, or just, I don't know, approach some Vedic knowledge, just sit like here for 5 minutes and maybe close your eyes and you will see some serious shit. So that's about it. Thank you. See you next time.